Hello YouTube, Tan Brolo here once again, and I have a project this weekend. It's not one that I am doing by choice. Was actually quite disappointed that I've even had to do this, but here we go. This is an Optoma HD20 high definition projector. I bought this over 5 years ago and had it ceiling mounted, so it was always upside down. No one ever touched it. It was always run by remote control with minimal use. I probably used it 6 hours a month, let's say 10 hours a month, just to kind of round it up. So that's 120 hours a year times 5 years. Let's say 600 hours, absolute maximum. And started having some problems. So last week, the color went all weird. I started getting this green hue, and it was really spotty. Like a movie would be okay, and then it would go all weird and green, and then it would go back to normal. And then yesterday, I just had it die. It turned off, and one of the lights was solid red and sorry, amber, and there was a blinking red. And I looked in the manual, and that indicated that there was a lamp problem. But I still wasn't sure about that because the lamp had such little use. These things are supposed to last for like 3,000 hours. So what happened was then I could turn it on again and it wouldn't light up. The lamp would not work. And there was this really loud vibration noise. I could put my hand on it and feel the vibration. So I'd turn it on, it would make this vibrating sound and noise and feeling. And then it would shut off. So that's all it would do. So within a day, this is all transpired within one day. Went on Google, went on YouTube, read lots, looked at a bunch of videos, and figured out what the problem likely is. And I'm going to tell you everything I've done to this today. So first I'm going to give you a quick rundown of what you need to do to get at the lamp and how to open this thing up. If you have an HD20, on the back side here, on the bottom, sorry, there's going to be a little doorway like this. And the first thing you need to do is take the door off. There's two screws. One of them is covered, so remove those two screws, and that just comes right off. Inside of that is the lamp for your HD20, and this is really, really easy to assemble and disassemble if you ever have to replace it. This is what the lamp looks like. It's even got a little metal handle here, and it lines up perfectly. It only goes in one way. So if you ever need to replace one of these, all you do is just pull it out. Mind you, there are two screws that you need to loosen. There's a screw here and a screw here. And once you loosen those, all you do is just grab the little handle, pull mostly from here because that's where the plug is, and this whole thing just pops right out. And also be very careful not to touch anything with your fingers in there because you don't want to get any grease on there. So anyway, I pulled that out only to discover that it seems perfectly fine, and I was quite convinced that that was not the source of my problem. So then the next thing I wanted to do was look at the color wheel, because this is the part in the projector, in DLP projectors in general, that moves. It's a spinning wheel that the lamp shines through, and that's what gives color to your picture. So to disassemble this, what you need to do is remove 3 screws. 1, 2, 3. Take those screws off. I'm going to flip this over. Next, what you want to do is your focus here just pulls. You just grab it with your fingers and pull, and it'll come right out. That's it. You just pull on it. After that, you're going to want to go around the edges and just very gently, you'll probably need a pry tool or a screwdriver. I already pulled mine off, so that's why it's coming off so easily. You might actually gouge the plastic a little. Just be very, very careful. This just comes right off. But do note that there is a plastic ribbon that attaches right there. So when you pull it off, don't pull it all the way off. You just want to get it off enough so that you can reach under there. And there's a little tab here that you flip up, and then the ribbon slides out, and then you can take the lid right off. So what I did with all of this exposed is I put my lamp back in. Now you can't turn it on and off with the button, obviously, because you don't have a button anymore. But in this current state, you can use the remote control to signal it to turn on. So what I did was I plugged it in like this, and I turned it on. Nothing happened. Then I did more reading, and I discovered that the projector will not turn on with this lid off because there's a little tongue on there that goes into that hole and pushes down a little clip, and if that's not pressed, the projector will not turn on. So what I did, and I'm going to run out of hands to show you, but I just found a tool. You could use a screwdriver or whatever, and I just stuck it in. It makes a little clicky noise, and I was holding this, and then with my other hand I used my remote control to turn it on and see what was going on. And what I noticed is that the color wheel, that's the part right here, and actually, by the way, first I should point out that I tried spinning this with my fingers just to check to see if it was broken. A lot of times when you get vibration, it's because the glass is broken. Note I'm not touching my finger on the surface of the glass, I'm just touching the edge gently. And I went around and I was just looking for any signs of breaks, and there weren't any. My color wheel is intact. It's in good shape. Right, so moving on. I stuck my little tool under there so that it would turn on. Right, I did that. Used my remote control, turned everything on, and then I could pinpoint the vibration, and the vibration was coming from my color wheel. So that told me that it was in fact a color wheel problem. And then I had to get creative, because what's the problem? The color wheel is intact, but maybe there's something wrong with the motor, or what's going on. So I had to kind of think outside the box as to what I would do. Now, this projector, it does accumulate its fair share of dust. Most projectors will. And what I happened to notice is there was a good amount of dust in here that I wiped out. I used alcohol, Windex, and whatnot, and just tried to get as much out of it as I can. And actually, just to point out, you can reach the cooling fan from underneath here. And I took alcohol and Q-tips and cleaned all the gunk off the fan as well. So what I did was I turned the projector on, and I noticed there was a good amount of vibration. So what I did was I just used what I had. This is an inflator, a pump for camping equipment. I can't remember what this came with, some kind of an inflatable mattress. And it actually works quite well. It pushes out a good amount of air. So I got it right in there and just went at it with shooting as much air in there as I could. This thing works quite well. It's almost, I'd say it's maybe 60% as effective as a compressed air can. And there was a good cloud of smoke that came out, telling me that maybe that's what was causing the vibration. Maybe there was just a lot of crud built up in there, and it was preventing the color wheel from spinning freely. So I blew it out, and here's the result. Okay, I've now reinstalled the door just with one screw so that I don't have to hold anything in that little hole so that this will work. And the bulb is not installed, so there is no light bulb in there. And I have my remote, it's plugged in. I'm just going to turn this on and watch what happens to the light, the color wheel. So I'm going to spin around so we get some good light on there. Here we go. There we go, spinning. And as you can hear, it's barely audible. And it's in my lap right now. There's no vibration. So I think it's safe to wager that this was just a problem of dirt and dust built up that was maybe jamming up the wheel. I don't really know, because it's now working. By the way, the fan is now kicked in now, and it did this to me last time I tested. It has to do with the bulb not being installed. It's some kind of a fail-safe. The color wheel has stopped spinning. Yeah, it just did like an error cycle because it has detected that something's wrong, and now it's just restarted again. But it's doing that because the bulb's not in it. All of the problems I was having, I can tell already that it's not happening anymore, because this is quiet, the vibration is gone, so that's really good. I'm now going to reinstall the bulb just to further test this out, but this is looking very promising. Alright, I'm back in business. I remounted the projector to my ceiling mount, and I've got HDMI cable running through the ceiling and an electrical cable up here. It's running just as it did before. No problem. The volume level is the same. I can hear the fan running. No weird vibrate noise. I checked the lamp hours, and it's about 690. So in 5 years I've used it for 690 hours. It's running perfectly now. Have it all set up again on my wall. It's set to run at a 120-inch screen. I've got an electric projection screen that comes down from the ceiling. And everything, knock on wood, is running just fine again. So my problem that happened, it seemed that the bulb was dead. The light indicator was showing that it was a bulb problem. I turned it on, I get this nasty vibrate noise. In summary, open it up, check your light wheel. If your light wheel's in good shape and you're getting a vibrate noise, it could just be the motor is dirty. Hit it with compressed air. Clean it out as best you can. That's all I did, and now it's running well again. Knock on wood. I hope I can get at least another 5 more years out of it before I have to take it apart again. So this is a good news story. Thanks very much for watching.